Hello. Today we are going to be solving or taking a look at Leetcode 20, valid parentheses. We've been basically given a string of parentheses and we've been asked to determine if it's valid or not. So the first example we've been given here is, right, and in this case, we see that there's an opening and there's a closing. So one of the things we need to take into consideration that the number of openings must be equal to the number of closings for the type of parentheses, right? So that is good. So this is valid. And then the second example is this and that. You have that and that, and then this and that. So with this, if everything checks out, the number of opening is equal to the number of closing, right? But the closings must be at the right spot, right? So we can put a closing here, then it will throw this whole thing off. This will not be right. So there is an opening. For every opening, there is a corresponding close at the right spot, right? So this is also valid. Now there is another example where we have an opening and a closing, but they are of different types. So this is wrong, right? So the positioning of the close and the type of close, opening and closing, is important to this question. And then there is another example that says this, that, and that. Now, for every opening, there should be a corresponding close. So this close, usually, if you're looking at it just with your eyes, this is you start from the middle, right? This opening has a close, and then the outer brackets have a closing as well. So this is correct. Suppose that we have something like this. Now this will be wrong. If it were to end here, this would have been right? But it's not. This is here, or it were to be it will start from here, this would have been right. But this closing bracket and this opening bracket, this is fine, but this one being outside makes it wrong. So what do we know? We know that the number of opening braces should be equal to the number of closing braces, right? So we can store all of the opening braces into a stack, right? And anytime we encounter, for example, we put this one in here, we put this one in a stack, and then we put this one on top of the stack. I'm looking at this one. Right, the first opening, we pop the stack. If we pop the stack and equate it to this, there is a corresponding close. Now this is the only thing left in the stack, so the next closing will be corresponding to an opening after popping this. So basically we need a stack, and after we are done, the stack should be empty, right? Because we pop this one and we pop this one, it will not be 0. So that is what we need to solve this. But before that, we should also close the opening braces, right? So if it's a closing brace, that's the only time we will do the comparison. That's the only time we are going to pop and compare. So if it's an opening brace, store it in a stack, but we should also have a way of identifying an opening and a closing braces, right? So we are going to use a dictionary to store that, right? So enough of the talking and explaining. Let's go and see how we can write this in code. So let's create a character dictionary. This is a key, this is a value. You're going to need that for all 3 types of have a closing braces and its value is key. You have a closing braces and its value is opening, and then we have a closing braces and its value is opening. Alright, so like I said, for every character in S, if it's an opening braces, right, we put it inside the stack. So let's create our stack. So if character in character dictionary, that would mean it's a closing braces, right? So if it's inside this character, right, then it's a closing braces, because we are only keeping track of closing braces here. If it's not, we just add it to the stack. So if it's a closing braces, there should be something in the stack. If there's nothing in the stack, then we automatically return false. If not stack, return false. Or if there's something in the stack, then the character dictionary of that character should be equal to. So if it's not equal to what we just popped up in the stack, then we also return false. So if it's an empty stack, then it means the closing braces we have does not have a corresponding opening braces, so that's not valid. If the closing braces we found and the stack we popped is not the same, then that is also wrong. At the end of the day, after all is said and done, the stack should be empty. Alright? So what did I miss here? Character is not defined. Do you mean character? For each character in string. Why did I spell character wrong? Oh, for character in string. I just wrote an if. For character in string, I'm if character. So let's see that. Okay, so if character in if not stack or character is not equal to stack.pop, return false. Else, alright, so this else must come in down here. Now if not stack or stack, the character is not equal to pop, and return false. I'll stack with a pen and then return not stack. Did I miss something? Oh yes, this was missed, so should be this. Yes, so this is what I missed here. The dictionary was not set up properly. But yeah, this is how you solve valid parentheses. Alright, you guys. See you in the next one.